What do you say there, guys? Geo Sette passed the wire. Uh, Burning the midnight oil. I've been handicapping for a good, what time is it? Well, it's 11 o'clock. I've been handicapping for 7 hours now, working on the Monmouth and Belmont Aqueduct cards for Saturday. Anyway, I know many of you may be interested in playing the big race, sort of big race, but it is a grade three, $500,000 purse, race 13 at Thistledown, the Ohio Derby. So rather than leave you hanging, I'm probably going to touch down on this race tomorrow too and play it. I always see an opportunity in every big race. This is a graded stakes race, so I figured I'd offer some thoughts. Many thoughts that are out there are probably going to be similar, but I got a little twist on it as a whole, okay? So let me run down the field. It'll only be like 10 minutes or so, and I'll give you my precise order. Basically, it's a 10-horse field, but I broke the race down to 5 horses, so 10-horse field converted to 5, and I make the precise order with the 5, and even though I could go precise all 10, horses 6 through 10 could probably finish in any order. I have a couple of horses who I think are going to be 9th and 10th, but that doesn't matter in the wagering, right? But I just like to do that, test myself as a handicapper. Big day tomorrow for me, Monmouth, the whole card at Monmouth. I'm going to be there live, and lots going on. I always look forward to my Saturday, especially when I'm not working my full-time gig. All right. So the one is Frizzanti. Castillo's up for Gregory Sacco. Gregory Sacco, I know him well. The barn over at Monmouth. Be short and sweet with this guy. Basically, he's shown some improve the last 3 times out. It took him a while to graduate. I'm not sure he's ready for a company like this. He could improve a little, but he's just too slow to hit the board here and compete. So he's one of my throwouts. I do appreciate Vino Rosso as his daddy, but like I said, the one can't be used in any of my tickets. 2, Gould's Gold. A lot of people may be enamored with BJ Hernandez for Ken McPeak. They've had a great spring. He actually made my grade as being one of the 5 horses in the race to have some sort of consideration. Granted, he's my 5th choice. BJ up. Another one that took a few races to graduate. It's a Golden Sense colt. Do I think he can improve and finally get to that 90, 92, 93 buyer? Yeah. I don't know if this is a great spot for him, but so part of the 5 that could be considered a contender in the race, or at least to make a race of it. But I'm not as enamored with him as others may be. The 3 Charlestown is made me smile a few times. I mean, he's a maiden. I've seen maidens go after a graded stakes race before. They're putting a mask on him. He's getting blinkers. But he's winless. I did circle the fact that he comes into the race with 2 pretty good works locally. But talking about big ask, this guy, he's got to get quicker. Even if he jumped up and improved significantly with the buyers, he's still not a contender here. Not much to say other than I'm going to have to part ways and throw him out. Think about this. He runs in a grade 3 Southwest, doesn't make any impact at all. Then they drop him back to a maiden special, and a very lackluster 3rd in a field, in a deep field. But what do you do that day to say, hey, let's put him in a grade 3 Ohio Derby? So he's one of the ones I'm tossing. The 4 Cop Attacks, interesting. I love a horse with a nose for the wire. This guy has a nose and a half for the wire. 10 races lifetime. He's won 7. He placed another time, so that's 8 out of 10 in the exacta. Obviously, versus much cheaper. Jockey stays. I like his path in training. Obviously, when a horse is 7 for 10, even with the step up, he has run and entered in a grade 2 and grade 3 before the Sam F. Davis and the Remsen. Didn't do much running. His last 2, he came hard. He showed some heart. He came hard and got up both times. And when a horse has a nose for the wire, they're in the category of dangerous. So, I like that. I think this horse is going to move forward again. I think he's versatile. I think he's a contender in this race. And I'm probably going to land on him second. I do have him second. Hard to be confident putting him on top. But he should go back to his running style. And his versatility says that, he could be up on a pace or he could be a dead weight closer. I'm not sure he's going to need to do that in this race. I like what I saw in race replay. He's a nice guy, nice colt. And I'm not going to dismiss him. Maybe he'll be in his 9th exacta in 11 races. The 5 is Uncle Heavy. Kind of like this guy as well. He made my superfecta. They brought him to Monmouth, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago to run in the Pegasus, but they scratched him, and for this race, and that was a stakes, but it wasn't a grade 3 for $500,000. I still say his Withers was great. Very underrated race in the Wood Memorial. If you watch the race, he broke wide. He was the outside horse, broke wide. He was wide around the first turn. Don't think he had a fighting chance. And in the Preakness, you know what happened in the Preakness. There was no pace. It was in the mud. C's de Grey just went basically wire to wire. And even though IRAB was on him, he couldn't mount much of a close. That's a grade 1 Preakness. In this race with Michael Sanchez, I have him as one of the 5 horses that could potentially make noise in this race. Underneath my final handicap, I had him, what did I have? 4th, my superfecta. 6th, Deposition, Dexter Haddock, jockey I like over at Parks in Delaware, and he always tries. His last on Lasix was his best. He was running graded stakes races before. He was in the Withers, the Golf, and the Wood. Didn't do much running. His last was his best. It was on Lasix. He's coming off Lasix now. He's got to get faster. Remember, when horses got 8, 9, 10 races and they haven't demonstrated a fast buyer or a thoroughbred that would make you say, wow, this guy's up and coming, you can't use them. They got to show something, especially if they're stepping up into a race where they seem to be overmatched. The 7 is Who's the King? Safi Joseph took a long while for him to graduate. Graduated at Gulfstream Park. Restricted allowance race last time out. Thought he should have ran better. I watched the race. He was well bet. Faulted late. Had an opportunity. Can't use a horse like this. I think he'll be a pace factor, but he'll probably fold. That's the 7. 8 is Catching Freedom. Woo-woo! How can any handicapper say, you know what, nah, he's not for me? I mean, look, Pratt's off, Sayaz is on. I love Sayaz. Catching Freedom arguably has been one of the better 3-year-olds in training. I won't spend a significant amount more time on him, but the Cox-Sayaz connection is very intriguing. This is a let's get a W race. It is $500,000. grade 3. But based on his risen star, grade 2, Louisiana Derby, Kentucky Derby, and Preakness, he wasn't spectacular, but he raced well. He faced premium company. He's a grade 1 horse, high grade 2, low grade 1, or bona fide grade 1. Back-to-back 97s on the bias scale. I'd be very surprised if he came up flat. He's going to need some pace, but I don't think he'll be way back, but he'll be, somewhere mid-pack around the, in the back stretch, and certainly when he get to the far turn. He's made for the distance. They should bet this horse through the roof. Sayaz goes on him now. Not that Pratt is elite as well. Just a coincidence that Sayaz is up. I can't get past him. So if you're going to play the race, and believe me, I'm not playing favorites here, but realistically, what goes on in Ohio could be people at the track. It's a big day there, Thistledown, and, I'd be very surprised if he's not even money or less in this field. And it's not just the odds, it's his body of work. And the booty is a nice work at Churchill, 59 and change, breezing, demonstrating fitness. He's got to win this race, unless he has a disastrous trip, which I don't see. I trust Luis Sayaz down the road. Let's call it the 320 to win. Batting down, wise guy horse, Alvarado Famat, son of Tappet, recently graduated in spectacular fashion over at Churchill Downs. I saw his progression, his improvement. They were thinking about running this guy in a Belmont Stakes, passed on it. $500,000 purse will do that here for the grade 3. Definitely a contender, one of the 5 horses who who make his presence felt in the race. Outside post really doesn't bother me. He should be on the pace. They may even run and gun him. The 7, Who's the King, should be up early, but Batten Down's a classier type, son of Tappet. Right off his maiden win, so he doesn't have the stakes races under his belt, but he was visually impressive at Churchill Downs. I think he hits the board here. I'm not going to say he could steal the race because I'm not going against Catch and Freedom. And of course, Mugatu, the 10, he went from 180 to 1 in the Bluegrass, where he was bet to 17 to 1 in the Preakness. I thought he was a significant underlay that day. I thought he should have been 70 or 80 to 1 that day. Granted, it was in the mud. Blinkers come off now. Needs to demonstrate some more ability. At best with this guy, even though I didn't have him in my top 5, he's a deeper superfecta. If the race turns up to be very fast up front, and some closers who had a big lane got things done. It's the only reason why I would use him. So the grade 3 Ohio Derby, Sette, Geo Sette, top 5, 8, 4, 9, 5, 2, Catching Freedom, Cop Attacks, Batten Down, Uncle Heavy. Uncle Heavy can improve. I wouldn't be shocked if Uncle Heavy was 3rd or 2nd here. And of course the 2 BJ Hernandez. So 8, 4, 9, 5, 2. I may pop up with some big time Aqueduct or Monmouth plays. So keep an eye on my Twitter at Sette Better Days. All right. I have another 2 or 3 hours more of work to do, working on my full card at Monmouth and 6 races over at Aqueduct on a racing Saturday. You guys have a good night. Comment. This won't be on the Past the Wire TV, but it's on my personal YouTube whenever I want to do something like this, an impromptu handicap for you guys. All right? God bless you. Talk to you soon.